So this week I have another 1960s classic cover in addition to the top covers for this week's new comic book day. And my pal, Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy, gives us his pick for the next modern comic book cover destined to become iconic. Stay tuned for the video.
Anachronic.
Hi comic book guys and gals, I'm Joe and welcome to Anachronic Comics. Stay tuned to the end to see Pretty Fly's cover pick for a recent cover that just might become a classic. Now this week's top cover from the 1960s is Silver Surfer Volume 1, Number 4, with cover pencils by John Buscema and inks by his brother, Sal Buscema. Now this is a classic iconic cover with a cover date of February 1968. Now you only need to glance at the cover to know the appeal of SS number 4. The classic battle between Thor and the Silver Surfer from the mind of Stan Lee is not only a terrific concept, but the cover rendition of that battle by John and Sal Buscema made this cover a classic that has always been in demand by collectors. The Buscema brothers are favorites of mine because they are paisans. Like me, they were sons of Italian immigrants. In fact, John and Sal were born in New York City, Brooklyn in fact. Hear that, Nick? And their given names were Giovanni Natale Buscema and Silvio Buscema. They are my paisans all the way, and both were great artists. The fact that they collaborated on SS number 4 made this cover a classic from the get-go. Before we get to Pretty Fly, let's take a look at this week's top 5 covers. Instead of one premium cover this week, I have one premium issue. Amazing Spider-Man number 875 has 20 covers, all of which are terrific. So I thought I'd make this a premium set. Let's take a look. Now, on to the honorable mentions. There are 3 homage covers to ASM 300 on the list. The first is Dark Hawk number 2, the Miguel Mercado variant B for $3.99. This virgin homage to ASM 300 is striking, not so much for the pose, which we continue to see in many comics, and apparently continue to be in demand by collectors, but the use of colors. The violet, rose, numbers, and similar highlights on Dark Hawk works really well. Next up, we have 2 covers from Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 30. The first is Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 30, the Tyler Kirkham variant A. Again, a great use of color here. The yellow background allows Miles in red, black, and blue to pop right out at you. The second is Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 30, the Mike Mayhew variant A. Mayhew captures Miles sans masque over New York City. He's venomized too, isn't it? Is that a word, venomized? Next up is Detective Comics number 1043, the Cover C new 1 in 25 incentive card stock variant for $5.99. This series of what I guess we can call wanted posters are new and unique perspectives on cover art. Here we have a still of the Huntress caught from a video camera. The last honorable mention for this week is Icon and Rocket Season 1 Number 3, the Tar and Clark Cover A for $3.99. Now I love this cover. From simplicity comes a clear showing of power. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of icon coming at me. Now, on to my top 5 covers for New Comic Book Day, September 29th, 2021. And we have some really good ones this week. Number 5 is the Marvel's number 5, the Alex Ross A cover for $3.99. Alex Ross does his usual top-notch job of joining color and black and white to highlight what he wants you to see, with each cover character also pointing towards the center. Number 4 is Inferno number 1, the 1 in 100 Artgerm Virgin variant for $5.99. This, in my opinion, is the best of 12 covers for this issue. What a sultry depiction of Mystique. Number 3 is Detective Comics number 1043, the Cover C new 1 in 25 incentive card variant for $5.99. These Batman-centric covers in a sepia-like color continue to be intriguing, showing Batman in the sights of an assassin. Symbolic, you think? I think so. Incidentally, this issue was delayed a week. Now, it was a tough decision deciding between the next two for number 1 and number 2, and you may want to reverse these depending on whether you are a Marvel or a DC guy or gal. For number 2, I selected Deathstroke Inc. number 1, cover B, the Francesco Mattina cardstock variant for $4.99. Now, this is a wonderful symbolization of Deathstroke's internal struggle, where he does what he does, but has an underlying fear, perhaps, that he may die at any time. Finally, my number 1 comic book cover for New Comic Book Day, September 29th, 2021, is another reissue of Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 30, the Rafael Grassetti variant B. This is a tremendous cover, from the realistic human-sized webbing to a depiction of Miles in such a realistic costume that it could be mistaken for a cosplay photo. The black and red costume is stunning, with the blue background and gray webbing in the back. Now, we had some really great covers this week. Maybe some future iconic covers? Well, Pretty Fly has his pick for a potential future iconic cover. Let's see his pick. Here's Pretty Fly.
Hey guys, first of all, I would like to thank everyone's encouraging words after my first pick, ASM 55. Yeah, people seem to unanimously agree that that book will be iconic. I don't know if I could say the same about my next pick, so it seems like after ASM 55, it's all downhill from here. All right, enough of these pleasantries. Let's get on to brass tacks. So, today's future iconic cover is, drumroll, Heroes in Crisis, drawn by Clayman and written by Tom King. I give Clayman props for drawing this Perez-like cover where there are tons of characters on the cover. But he composed them and organized them in such a way that they all create this beautiful triangle leading to Psycho Pirates' mask, which, if you've read the book, plays a significant role in the story, as these characters that are literally at the forefront of the story. We normally see these characters as gods. The neat thing about this cover is that Clayman has given us a perspective on these characters that we don't normally see. He gave us a superior angle on these characters. Superior means, when I say superior, I mean above angle, to show that we're looking down at these characters at their most vulnerable and dramatic moment. These heroes that seem like gods to us can also be vulnerable, flawed. They can also grieve and feel small like us. So for that, I think that this cover will be iconic, especially if the story catches on. Like if Warner Brothers decides to make an animated movie and the story becomes popular. So if that ever happens, this cover will definitely be iconic. So, will this book be iconic? This book shows us a different side of the Justice League. And I know this story was received with a lot of controversy because the story had a lot to do with PTSD and the treatment of a certain character that's in this book, which I will not spoil. So, let me know what you guys think. All right, peace.
Wow, I really hadn't immediately thought of that Heroes in Crisis #1 as a potentially iconic cover, but I see it. Great pick from Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy. So that's the video. Remember to leave a comment on the covers we picked and would buy, based only on the cover art. Also, let us know whether you agree with Pretty Fly's pick for a future iconic cover. So many covers, so little cash. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel so you can see all of the videos that I upload. Thanks for watching. Be well, and I'll see you soon.